This is the On Podcast, The Return, Take One.
We're back, baby!
Fuck yeah, we are. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the On Deck Podcast. For this evening's inaugural episode, we have quite the show planned for you. We're going to be talking about football. It's back. We're also going to be talking about the NHL, but only for 1 minute. We'll be talking about basketball. We'll have Marty run over our horoscope for us. And we'll be talking about a whole bunch of things that you probably haven't heard of if you're interested in this show. To start off, let's go ahead and introduce the gang. I'm Joel. I'll be your play-by-play announcer this evening and making sure this show stays remotely close to the road.
You got the businessman, the sports dragon, all business Pat.
And I'm Marty.
Thank you, Marty and Pat. It's an honor to be here with you this evening.
Let's get it.
Tonight we're broadcasting to you from an undisclosed location somewhere between the sun and the planet Pluto.
Just call it the Trap House.
The Trap House, indeed. First up, we'll talk about football. It's back. Right now we have the Browns and the Bengals game behind us. Probably the least interesting Thursday night slate they could have put up for us on week 2 here. Ohio sucks. I think we all know that.
The least interesting state versus the least interesting state. Who will be the king of disinterest?
Yeah, so of course, if something truly incredible happens, which it won't, but if it does, we'll be sure to give you our instantaneous reactions.
Uncut.
Of course, as always. First off, Pat, let's talk about football. Week 1, thought it was a success. Didn't think it would be, but I thought it was a success. How about you?
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I mean, Sunday I had food poisoning. Still one of the best days in recent memory. I watched probably 3 or 4 games. I could barely feel my stomach, but it was great. First game we watched, Eagles versus the, the Washington football team. The team in Washington, don't get them mistaken, not racist at all. They are in Washington.
Yeah, so the Redskins really took a commanding W in that game. I've been high on the Redskins I've been high on the football team called the Redskins this whole time. I think that they have a really solid team around an uninspiring quarterback. But I think that it was less about the Redskins being good and more about the Eagles being bad.
Yeah, you gotta watch it. You gotta say, what the fuck was that, Philly? How do you go up 17-0 to a team that you're supposed to clobber? And I know you had injuries. I know that. But at the end of the day, this is still a team that you should be beating. And you blow a 17-0 lead. I mean,
who knows, man?
Doug Peterson reminds me of when I drink a little bit too much and I play Madden. And I go out, I just throw 4 birds every single play. I act like the opponent's dog shit, And then about 10 minutes later, I have 3 picks, and I'm down 17 and wondering what the hell happened.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Of course, as a Detroit fan, we play Philadelphia a lot. Not every year, but most years. So it does bring me joy when Philadelphia loses. I'm from Philadelphia. I like to see them suffer because I don't care. But honestly, that was probably the most painful loss in recent memory for the Philadelphia football team against the Redskins. But I have to say, we've been sleeping on the Redskins. I think that the Redskins have a legitimate shot. Maybe not to win the division, but I think that they have a legitimate shot at making the playoffs this year.
This is like that episode of South Park where they just count how many times they can say shit, except it's our word.
Yeah. Well, Redskins isn't a slur. Don't think we're going to have any natives listening, but if we do, I apologize in advance. Anyways, to be fair, I've been saying Redskins TM this whole time.
Okay, yeah, put the little trademark after.
Yeah, care of Dan Snyder.
Speaking of the Detroit Lions, I'm sitting there, I'm watching the game.
Shut up.
After the game, it comes on, and I've been getting texts in a group chat about how the Lions have been killing it all day long. Suddenly, they're fucking scrambling in the last minute to try and get a touchdown.
Yeah.
It had to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
Correct.
They needed a touchdown, and I was like, what the hell happened? So I texted back the group chat, and apparently the Lions just decided everything they could do to lose the game would be something that they should execute. And, they really should have won that game, especially that DeAndre Swift drop, but
yeah.
there's not much you can do
No, there is.
You gotta
The
move
Lions.
on.
You can't tell me the Lions didn't choose to lose that game. I mean, if I didn't watch the whole game, I'll be honest with you. I was watching. I was actually down in Philadelphia over the weekend, so I was watching the football team versus the Eagles. But I watched the first, maybe the first couple minutes, and the Lions were dominating. Like, look, Mitchell Trubisky sucks. Let's start there. Let's start there and go somewhere else. Mitchell Trubisky sucks.
I mean, apparently he sucks until the fourth quarter. You got comeback Mitch.
Well, who knew? But that game was a disgrace. I mean, this happened last year. The Lions were down 24-7 to the Cardinals in the opener of the 2019 season, and they ended up tying that game 24-24. Par for the course, man. This year the Lions were up 24-6 and ended up losing. It honestly amazes me. We fired Jim Caldwell because, quote, 9-7 is not good enough. And now we have Matt Patricia, who hasn't won 9 games yet in 3 seasons. So I genuinely don't know. I like DeAndre Swift. I liked him as a draft pick. I mean, the Lions have a good offense. The Lions have a really good team. Don't get me wrong. I mean, if Matthew Stafford wouldn't have missed the whole year last year, I genuinely think the Lions would have been better than the Packers. Neither here nor there. I think that they had a great shot of winning the NFC North. But what I wanted from the Lions was for them to not just be a good team. I want them to be a fun team. The Lions haven't been a fun team since Barry Sanders was toting the rock. Love DeAndre Swift as a pick. We've got Adrian Peterson, who's 8 million years old.
Calvin Johnson was a little fun.
He was fun, but he was the only fun player on the team. I mean, now we've got, like I said, we've got Adrian Peterson somehow. I mean, we've got Kerryon Johnson, who helped me win my fantasy game with his great 1.4 point performance for me. And DeAndre Swift, I mean, that's one of the most complete and deep backfields in the entire game. DeAndre Swifter is great at Georgia. Kerryon Johnson's been great in the past, and Adrian Peterson's one of the best backs of all time. I mean, how can you complain about? How do you lose to the Bears? I mean, how do you not score a point after the fucking third quarter? I don't understand.
I don't know, but as a proud Yinzer, I was pretty happy on Monday night. The Steelers look great. I know they're kind of playing a shitty team, but they contained Saquon to the point where Ben Roethlisberger, who's about a quarter pounder short of being his own offensive tackle, he outrushed him. I believe just by like 5 yards. I mean, it's not even like he had some kind of career rushing. He had like 11 yards. The Steelers contained the hell out of Saquon. Daniel Jones looked okay, but I mean, one of his touchdowns was kind of just when the Steelers were backing off and just saying, we got a 2-touchdown lead, go ahead and do what you got to do. I mean, 3 touchdowns, 0 picks in his first game in literally like 365 days. Defense looked great. I'm not going to complain. Should be a good season, but the Ravens are there, so who cares?
Guy I was playing in fantasy this week had Saquon Barkley, and definitely was in striking distance, so I appreciate what the Steelers defense did to him.
I had Saquon, and I won before that, so I really didn't care. I was just hoping for Steelers dominance. He did have a nice catch, though. He had a nice catch and run. Hurdled somebody, like his signature. His signature is kind of hurdling. He hurdled over a Steelers defender. It was pretty sick, but that was pretty much the only time he got more than like 5 yards on the play.
Yeah, I mean, I was really surprised by how little impact he made on that game. Anyways, moving on. As you may or may not have heard, I have opened my a new beverage. So a segment that we're going to bring up right here in between talking about football is we're going to go around the gang here and talk about what we're drinking this evening. So I have just opened a 32-ounce Budweiser. So I've already completed my Blue Raz 4 Loko to get me in the mood to record this podcast. That was the shot, and this is the chaser. Pat, what do you got?
I have a Blue Raz 4 Loko. Haven't finished it. My tummy hurts a little bit. Still kind of reeling from the food poisoning, but we're out here grinding.
Can't all be perfect. Marty, what do you have?
Well, I'm not naming them until they sponsor us, but they like the number 4, and it's pretty crazy. It's a strawberry lemonade. Please sponsor us. Just give me a shirt. I'll wear it until it...
Send me the costume that you put on your Instagram. Go look at 4 Loko Instagram. They have a costume they're sending out. It's sick.
Indeed. Anyways, moving on. Pretty much one of the bigger stories in the football world that we haven't talked about, because it's not one of our favorite teams, Cam Newton.
Cam Newton.
The fuck did he come?
One of my favorite players on the Evil Empire.
Yeah, dude, where did you come from, Cam? When did your shoulder get put back together? I mean,
Well, you know, he might have licked that guy from Step Brothers' butthole. Because that helps with shoulder pain.
I mean, maybe. Definitely, maybe.
No, he looked great. Here's the thing about the Patriots is, this is pretty much without argument the least talented team Bill's worked with in years. Since probably I was in elementary school. And I still think he has a chance to win the division. He's a wizard, and I think him and Cam Newton, he's getting Cam Newton playing his best football, which we all know is pretty good football.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be good. But really what's interesting here is how he decided he wanted to just fight an entire group of marine animals. He just wanted to beat the shit out of every dolphin, which I feel like if I was going to pick a team that I wanted to just take, 53 versus 1, it would not be a Florida team. Somebody's got to have a knife in there.
Yeah.
It's in their sock or in their jockstrap or something. Miami,
not the one I would pick. Well, you know what I was really surprised about? I mean, before we even get into the fact that he decided that he fucking hated SeaWorld in Florida, I was really surprised that Cam was running as much as he was. I mean, I genuinely thought that, Bill wants that quarterback for the whole year. I guess it doesn't matter because Jarrett Stidham had a great preseason. He had a great training camp, I guess. But, I feel like he wants Cam Newton to start all season. I was surprised that he ran as many times as he did. But he almost had 20 rushing attempts.
Bill's going to get the best out of his team. He doesn't give a shit what happens to you.
Yeah. You die.
Tom Brady got Deflategate. He took the fall for it. 4 games.
Yeah.
If they're really, I don't know about all that, but if there was really some kind of deflating scheme, you know who was fucking the head honcho there.
Yeah.
You know exactly who it was. And Tom Brady got the fall. The Patriots as a team got punished, but Bill got nothing individually to my memory.
Yeah. Well, hey, how about Tom Brady down in Tampa?
So, I don't know if you saw the stat. It was 3 games in a row with a pick 6. You got him. You got Matt Schaub when he threw that incredible...
King.
He had that incredible pick 6 streak. And there's a third guy. It wasn't anybody great. I think it was like Blake Bortles or something. Robbie Bortles.
King.
Yeah, fun players, great players, but that's not a list of quarterbacks you want to be a part of. I'll be honest, my tummy hurt during that game. I fell asleep. But I saw the beginning and end. It was pretty cool. I like seeing Tom lose. There's nothing wrong with him as a person. He kind of beat up on our team, and I can't take that as a fan.
No, understand 100%. Don't mind Tom Brady. Actually, the Lions beat him that was 2 years ago now. Anyways, beat him 2 years ago, so I haven't felt anything since.
Steelers beat him 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And they got ass pounded by him last year in the opener.
Well, I'll tell you what. Cam, even if you approach me with some weird fucking characters in a tweet, email, text message, fucking Telegram, don't care. Please come on the show, brother. We appreciate you.
Check your email. Marty will be in your inbox soon.
Of course. Speaking of Barney, it's about time for Marty to make an appearance.
It's time for the worst minute on the show. We got your NHL minute coming to you live.
Indeed.
Let's go, Marty.
All right,
1 minute on the watch.
All right, well, to be honest,
Thank you, Marty. It's been great to have you on the... Oh, wait, was the minute not up yet?
I don't think it started.
Damn, it feels so long when we're talking about hockey.
Still have 55 seconds.
Well, I haven't really been keeping up with it much since the Flames.
Nobody has. There's 3 better sports on.
No, my favorite team was knocked out, but I believe Dallas...
Who's your favorite team?
Calgary Flames.
Okay, why?
They're the Calgary Flames.
All right, continue.
So I'm pretty sure Dallas is in the finals, and Tampa Bay and the Islanders are playing right now. Tampa's leading 3-2. I think I'd rather have... Man, I don't know. I would rather have the Islanders win, because the Rangers are my second favorite team, and they're both from New York, so...
I've been following a girl on Twitter who has been talking about this a lot, so I've kind of been piecing together the playoffs. But, Marty, let me ask you a question about the NHL.
Yeah.
How does... can you explain to me how they play hockey in Florida, considering that... Oh,
okay,
and the NHL minute is over.
Right,
so,
no more NHL tonight.
All right, tonight we'll be talking also about basketball, which is still going on, though... the season that we care about is over, considering that the Sixers have been out for quite a hot minute. And the Clippers, who I personally picked to win the finals, have been done ever since Paul George decided he wanted to be a simp.
Yeah.
Pat, what are your thoughts on the NBA playoffs?
I mean, obviously the big story is you got the Clippers and you got the Nuggets, 3-1 lead. Nuggets come back from another 3-1 lead. Don't even know how it's possible. First time the team has done it 2 times in the playoff, I believe. But like the thing is, this is a team that was supposed to win the championship. I had, everybody pretty much had either the Lakers, Clippers, or Bucks. And now it's the second round. The Bucks and Clippers are out. The Lakers are the only one living up to their potential. So I mean, it's been a weird playoffs. I think the bubble might have something to do with that.
Yeah, well, that was going to be my question to you. What do you think the bubble does have to do with that? I mean, I would have picked the Clippers. I thought it would have been an all LA.
I think it hurts
Western Conference Finals.
I think it hurts teams like, the Sixers primarily. The whole season their thing was that they won at home.
Yeah.
And you have home games, but they're not home games. I think that might have hurt them. Well, obviously losing Ben Simmons was pretty much a nail in the coffin there. But I think that hurt them against the Celtics. I think it hurts, even though the Lakers have been killing it, I think it hurts them because, they have a crazy crowd.
Yeah. Well,
I think it hurts the Heat. It hurts a lot of teams, really.
Yeah.
Maybe just not the Clippers because nobody cares.
I'll tell you what. First time I was ever actually scared of COVID and its result effects was this back in March. It was March 15th, right around when things were all shutting down. I was supposed to meet a group of friends down in Philadelphia for this Sixers game. But I was leaving Reading, Pennsylvania, and if you're not familiar with the area, Reading is about a 45-minute, as the crow flies, drive on I-76 away. But usually I was leaving Reading at about 5 p.m. From a prior engagement. I was supposed to meet my friends at 7, and I said, sorry, guys, I won't be able to make it into Philadelphia by that point. I was staying in Philadelphia, so I was going in anyways. But I said, fellas, I'm sorry, I won't be able to make it to the game in time. I'm not going to buy tickets because it typically takes 3 to 4 hours with normal traffic to get from Reading to Philadelphia. Ended up leaving at 5 from Reading, getting into Philadelphia at 5:45, thinking, oh shit, maybe this coronavirus is something that I need to be concerned about. And it turned out that was actually the last night that the NBA was going to play. So looking back, I probably should have bought tickets to that game, considering it would have been the last time I got to see real Philadelphia basketball for quite some time. But alas, I didn't.
Yeah, we were supposed to go down. Me and Josh and Trevor? We were supposed to go down.
Rest of the gang, yep.
But no, that I think the game was going to be April 5th, and by then it was done.
Yeah, you know how it was.
But
anyways, what's your pick for the finals? What do you think?
Lakers. I think the Celtics win. I'm rooting for the Heat. They played a great game 1.
Oh yeah.
But the Celtics just look like the better team. I think the NBA is kind of pushing for a little Lakers-Celtics action.
Same.
2 of the biggest fan bases in the entire organization. LA for sure. Boston in the East, arguable. But
I don't know, man.
I think that's what they're going to push for. I'd love to see Lakers-Heat. Either way, I think the Lakers are going to take it.
I don't know, man. Jamal Murray is a different breed when he's got his hot Kentucky girlfriend who performed actions we're not allowed to talk about on this podcast to him.
Jamal and Jokic, man.
Jamal.
Every time you see a picture of Jokic before 22 years of age, he's about 400 pounds.
And I'll tell you what, Jamal has had the soul sucked out of him. He has nothing to live for except winning a championship. So consider me a fan of the Nuggets Heat. That would probably be, at this point, the most obscure championship we can have. Not very obscure at all. Well, anyways.
Sticking with sports, we got the worst day ever in the history of the Big Ten.
Yeah, in case you're
Larry
wondering.
Nassar, take a seat.
Jerry, our
Jerry
hometown
Sandusky,
boy. Jerry, I know you're only 20 minutes away from me right now, but I'm going to need you to sit down in your prison cell. Because the single worst thing that has ever happened on a Big Ten campus happened yesterday. The Big Ten is back, baby.
Big Ten football back. What is it? 8-game schedule approved. Going to start October 24th. First thing I thought, holy shit, lots of snow games.
Yep.
Incredible amount of snow games. I need to see Northwestern versus Iowa 7 inches of snow, 3 total points scored. I need to see it right now.
The ultimate Big Ten football
If we get that, or at least something similar to that capacity, it will make the entire wait. It'll make the entire less games. It'll make Penn State's best players opting out completely worth it. We need that.
Well, I don't know if you heard, but Freiermuth is back.
Freiermuth is back? Okay.
Yep. Apparently,
no way Parsons comes back.
No.
There's no way.
But apparently,
I don't blame him. Hometown guy.
We all thought Freiermuth opted out, right? Apparently, he's telling reporters, his coach, James Franklin was there too, he's telling them that he never opted out, that it was fake news.
Fuck it. That's the best way to get out of an opt-out.
Yep. Hey, whatever, Pat. Brother, catch footballs. I don't give a fuck.
A bad excuse would be, I didn't think the season was going to happen. A great excuse is, no, I never opted out.
Yeah. Hey, man, as long as you're playing football, as long as you're catching footballs, do not give a fuck what you do in your personal life.
If you don't understand the reference we have here, some USA Today reporter, I believe she's also part of CNN, she was pretty much tweeting up until they decided to play Big Ten football about how shitty of an idea it is, about how players are going to get corona and die immediately on the spot.
As one does.
And as soon as they approved it, it was the worst day in the history of the Big Ten. Forget all the players that are going to benefit from getting a chance to the NFL, from just being in the program, getting a daily test. Forget all that. It is just the worst thing I could think of.
Yeah.
Honestly, it might be, I don't know, but it's definitely in contention for worst day ever. Worst thing ever to happen in the history of ever.
I agree.
If you take pretty much any genocide and compare it to this, there's just no contest, in my opinion.
Shit, dude. What do you even pick? I couldn't even make that decision. No, but, yeah, look, man, we should have known. She's a CNN contributor. Don't get us wrong. Here at the On Deck podcast, we're taking the coronavirus very seriously. We're not being stupid. The bars in State College are a death trap.
We are 6 feet apart right now.
Won't catch us there, but, look, man, we can play football. The NFL is. So, wear a mask, but be smart.
The moment I accepted that the Big Ten was over, but at some point I watched UAB Central Arkansas, and they had fans.
Yeah.
And I was like, how the hell can they manage to play with fans, but we can't have just no fans?
Who knows, man? Well, sports, we love them, but there are other things in this world, believe it or not. So now we're going to turn it over to Marty, who is going to tell me, Pat, and you what you're going to do this week as per the stars. Marty, would you like to tell us about our horoscope?
Yeah, shit. Well, I'm no expert. I really just Googled this, but then again, how can you be an expert in bullshit? So, let's see, what's going on? Well, new moon in Virgo, September 2020. So say goodbye to the old ways of doing relationships. Discussions and negotiations about new terms of engagement are coming to a turning point at this new moon in Virgo on September 17th. Shit, that's today. So to our one listener, I hope stuff is well for you. I don't know.
Honestly, bro, if you need a new girlfriend, reach out. We don't know any women, but you can come be sad with us.
And let's see, what does it say for Libras like me? The universe has a wonderful gift for you today, the ability to appreciate the smaller things in life. Well,
that's what we're doing right now, man. We're appreciating this horoscope.
Our one single listener, we love you. We appreciate you.
Yep. And to the Scorpios, the other two.
Hell yeah, Scorpio gang right here, Pat and I.
All right, feed your mind whenever you can today, and don't give it any...
I went to all my classes.
Don't give it any...
I almost did.
All right, don't give it any junk thinking. So gossip, trends, celebrity news. A little too late. Should have told you that earlier.
No celebrity news.
Don't talk about sports. No talking about sports.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess we'll see you all next week. We have to go cleanse our soul.
Yep, sorry. Oh, continue, Diego.
My chakras are dirty.
So, Marty, let me ask you one thing. You were supposed to appreciate the little things today. What little things did you appreciate?
Shit. Well, we did go to Sheetz, right?
Yeah, we did.
Wawa's better than Sheetz, but that doesn't matter.
Well, Wawa doesn't sell alcohol, so it cannot be better than Sheetz.
I think they might sell alcohol
I think
outside of
gas stations.
They do not.
Oh, well, at Sheetz I got 2 hot dogs. That was pretty good, except for the fact...
You got 2 what?
Glizzy dogs, I meant.
Thank you.
They were pretty good, except for the fact that they had no mustard when I, in fact, selected mustard. Tell me something about
Where
that.
the fuck did you get mustard? Did you replace it?
Yeah, here in the apartment.
Okay, so you had mustard.
It's not the same thing, though.
What are you worried about then, brother?
It's not Sheets mustard with Sheets dogs.
We can't all be Sheets mustard. Well, moving past the horoscope, if you are a Libra and Scorpio, you probably loved this segment because we told you how to lead your life for the next couple of days. If you're anything but that, well, maybe you're not listening to the right. Maybe you're not listening to the right podcast. We're moving on, though. Let's talk about some pop culture. Kanye is in the shadow realm right now. I think we've all realized that Kanye was fucking weird as hell. But I think he really sealed the deal last night with a Twitter storm in which he put out about 100 tweets talking about how much he hates all of the entities that make him money.
Damn, I miss old Kanye.
Don't we all? Kanye last evening posted several pages of his contract with Universal, who he is in a dispute with right now. In addition to that, he also posted a video on Twitter of him pissing on one of the awards that he has won. Pat, what are your thoughts on this?
Grammy pissing.
Grammy pissing indeed. Marty, what are your thoughts?
Damn, dude, when was the last time he came out with a good song? And is his
Last
clothing
year,
label good?
What song do you think, Pat?
Jesus is King.
Honestly, Jesus is King.
If you hate that song, you're unfaithful.
I did appreciate that album.
Shit, I did like that Lamborghini Mercy song. That was good.
That's about 9 years old, sir.
It's been a while. But honestly, I do have to say, I really do appreciate Kanye standing up to some of the big music labels. I mean, he's really weird, but give him credit. He is trying to. I do believe that he's trying to do what's best for him in a business sense
And political.
Well, yeah. I mean, Kanye is going to take some votes away from Trump for no reason, but yeah, I mean, good for him. If you're going to piss, I mean, look, man, I don't even have a Grammy to piss on, so the fact that he's a Grammy to piss on, Kanye, I'm going to raise my 32-ounce Budweiser to you.
I came close back in 07.
You'll get medical help, dude.
Well, yeah, whatever it takes, Ben. Anyways, moving on, speaking about another candidate for president, don't you guys think that it's absolutely hilarious that Trump has bumbled through policy? You know, our friend, Donald J. Trump, he has stumbled through pretty much everything of his presidency for the last 3 3/4 years like a fucking idiot, but somehow accomplished peace in the Middle East throughout the last 2 weeks. What are the odds?
Don't know anything about it. Cool.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter.
It
Congratulations.
does matter. Well, for the rest of the gang and our listeners, in case you're unaware, there have been several landmark peace deals being done in the Middle East by Jared Kushner, who, in case you don't know, is President Donald J. Trump's son-in-law. So if you had the great fortune of marrying Donald Trump's hot-ass daughter,
She's alright.
you had the opportunity to broker peace in the Middle East. Who would have thought? But there have been landmark negotiations and an agreement between Bahrain, Israel, the UAE, and various other small nations whose name I do not know in the Middle East.
Qatar.
Anyway, actually not Qatar. No. They just use slave labor to build soccer stadiums. You know how it is.
Is that still
Kuwait?
going on? Isn't
It
that
is still going on.
Damn.
Kuwait.
No.
Our resident-friendly nation.
We love Kuwait. Big fan. We simp for Kuwait on this show here. Anyways, Pat, I think we've been watching Thursday Night Football here. The Bengals just took a field goal. The Browns have a 21-13 lead. Who do you think is the front runner for the neck roll guy of the week? Of course, we're going to reveal that on this show. So we're going to propose a neck roll guy of the week from Thursday Night Football as well as the last week of football. And then on our next episode, we'll film over the weekend, we will confirm our neck roll guy of the week. So, Pat, who's your prediction for the neck roll guy of the week?
I think Cam Newton has a good shot. I mean, it doesn't get much more neck roll than trying to fight 53 men.
Yeah,
This is there.
I would agree. Right now, I have to say, Wyatt Teller, He is the I'm going to go for a smaller name guy. He's the right guard for the Browns. It's not his fault that the guy he blocked wasn't looking at him, and he accidentally ended his life. What's more neck roll than that?
Fat Randy.
Fat Randy.
Misses a kick, immediately goes for the hammy.
Fat Randy. My man. You missed it. It's all right. We all buckle under pressure sometimes.
Goes for the hammy and is kicking, 5 days later?
Good for him. What do you think of this game so far, Pat? I know we've been focused on the podcast most of the time, but this is more entertaining than I thought it would be.
As a Bengals plus 200 better, I'm having a bad time. Not much else to say, really. Joe Burrow looks okay. Not great, but good. I mean, he is playing a pretty talented team in the Browns. They're all right, but not much to say. It's pretty much what you expected. Maybe a little more points so far.
Yeah. Not a huge Joe Burrow fan, but feel free to argue that in whatever platform you see fit. So to close out the week, we're going to talk about the stupidest thing that we have seen this week. Now, Pat has a submission for that. He's going to tell us a wonderful story that he's experienced this week. We have not heard this yet, so we're going to react in kind.
So this actually didn't happen this week. This happened back in high school when I worked in a restaurant.
Well, we may have had our wires crossed there, but Pat, go ahead and tell us the story. We know it's a good one.
So it was a pizza place. I won't be more specific than that until we get ourselves a sponsorship.
Yeah, it's a hut of pizza, one might say.
Perhaps. And so what happens is this man comes in, very run-of-the-mill interaction. He goes, "Hello, my name is," I don't remember his name, I can't say it anyways.
Say his name. Say his full name. What's his social security number, Pat?
He says his name. I go back, I look in the pizza area, and I'm like, yeah, this dude isn't here. So I go back and I look where they're making the pizzas. I look for the name. I don't see it. So I'm like, all right, what the hell? So I go back out. I talk to him. I'm like, dude, I don't see your name back there. Could it be under another name? 'Cause it happens all the time. People, I called in a pizza. Did you call it in? Well, my wife did. What's your wife's name? Here it is. But this guy, he gave me his wife's name. It wasn't back there either. So, not knowing what to do, I was like, can you maybe tell me what you ordered? And I can't remember the exact details, but I know he bought up, I think it was something like he bought up like a wing count that we just didn't have. But knowing the pizza business at the time, being an aficionado, I knew that Domino's had this, and I said, dude, we don't have that here. That's a Domino's item. And this man looks me in the eyes, and he just says, "Where am I?" In the most Vietnam vet way possible. And, I got to pull out the line, "Sir, this is a Pizza Hut." And immediately, he didn't even say anything. He just left.
Shit, dude, I'll have what he's having.
Bro, honestly, I don't think I've ever been at that much peace that I showed up to the wrong restaurant. One day, man, one day.
It's always a 50-something-year-old dudes.
So, Pat, you've had a decent amount of experience in the food industry. Is that the most lost customer you've ever had?
I've had customers I'm pretty sure were psychotic.
Naturally.
Something just mentally wrong with them. So no, I would say they take the cake. When somebody comes in and kind of just screams at you, that's something that you just move on. There's nothing else you can do. You hang up your apron and you move on.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. There's nowhere that I demand quality quite like I do from Pizza Hut in a small town USA. Definitely the single stupidest thing we have heard this evening. We'll update you on that over the weekend, though, because I'm sure with this gang and the rest of our gang here at the On Deck Podcast, someone will say something that is somehow dumber. Anyways, Pat. Unfortunately, Pat is choking
so
right now.
Sorry.
Unfortunately, we will have to call him a very expensive ambulance, and he will not be able to be on the show next week because he died of a staph infection in the hospital. Anyways, we'll be back over the weekend to talk about some of the NFL football that is going on then. We'll be sure to discuss some more news and talk about some of the allusions that we made to this Bengals-Brown game, which is absolutely riveting at its halftime score of 21-13. We'll have some new drinks then. We'll review that for you. And if anything comes up, we'll be talking about it. Marty will be here with the NHL Minute. However effective that is, to be determined. Thank you for tuning in to the On Deck podcast this evening. It's been absolutely awesome to talk to you. Again, my name is Joel.
All business, Pat.
And I'm Marty.
Thank you again for spending your evening with us. We appreciate it. Have a good night.
You're all beautiful.
Register to vote.
Love you.